always starts with dreaming. I think dreaming is such an important element. When people see an account or a piece of business that they can, you meet someone that's wealthy or a celebrity, your first instinct is to think, what can I get from that person?
True.
What kind of business, or who does that person know I can now use that person to get to another person? And it's usually what I can get. What I've learned from that lesson with the paper story, and what I've learned going forward, is immediately when I meet somebody of some value, that has success, and what can I do for that person? You have to think along the lines, if you're going to play the long game, of what you can give and what you can do for someone else, not what you can receive. And sometimes even if you can't receive anything in the short term, but it's about what you can do for them. And that's really how I built up my companies, is always what I could do for them. I think, it's important when I talk about my third book, Living on Purpose, it's about faith, fortune, and fitness. And a big part of it, people always want to know how they can get rich quick or how they can make a lot of money. I mean, I get it. And that's probably what somebody who's listening right now wants to know. Hey, Brandon, I hear about all that. I need to make some money. And it's okay to do the money grab sometimes. So it's just that when you're doing the money grab your whole life, you're going to come up short. That's a big message in that book. I think it's okay to do the money grab. And there are times where you just got to stick your head out the window and go, I need to make some cash. I want to go buy a bigger car. I want to get a nice house. I'm getting married. I need a ring for my wife, whatever it is. So in 1994, my mom had just passed. It was kind of a big moment in New York sports, because here they have a hockey team called the New York Rangers. And there's a very die-hard, almost like the way you guys feel about soccer. There's a die-hard fan base in New York that love the Rangers, love the hockey. And it's been 54 years since they won. So I'm sitting on the train, and all I'm thinking about is how I can get a car, because I hated going on the train. And I didn't have the nerve. My wife was more of an earner, and she was supporting us. I didn't have the nerve to go home and ask her to get a car so I could drive into work every day. So I was trying to think, how can I scheme? How can I go afford a car? Because I couldn't stand getting on the train. I'd always miss the train, and all these people crowded in on me. I couldn't think, and I like to think a lot on my way to work. So I looked down in the newspaper, and there was a picture of the captain who won the Stanley Cup for the Rangers on the front page of the newspaper. And I said to myself, I was trying to think of a zillion ideas of how I could scheme, make some money. I see this picture of this guy named Mark Messier. He was a Ranger captain, great hockey player. And in my mind, I think, if I can get Mark to sign these photos, I bet everybody who was at that game would want one. So sure enough, it took me about 3 months to track him down. And I did. And sure enough, I made a lot of money. And initially, when I started Steiner Collectibles, my old company, I'm with Collectible Exchange now, but my old company started with a signing with Mark Messier. And it was just a money grab. It was just about buying a new car. And sure enough, after I did that deal, 6 months later, I bought myself a brand new car, and I was happy. But the purpose after that kicked in, where I started really dreaming and scheming. And obviously, I viewed collectibles a lot differently. But sometimes your initial impulse to an idea always starts with dreaming. I think dreaming is such an important element. And then sometimes you get into a sprint. I kind of put it like this. In business, you have to decide if you want to be a sprinter or a marathon runner. And sometimes the quick money grab is a sprinter mentality. On your mark, get set, go. You got 40 yards, you're running as fast as you can. There's not a lot of strategy to it. You run a marathon, you're thinking hydration. You're thinking about speeding up, going faster, longevity. You're thinking about all the other people that are racing against you and where they stand and where they are, the weather conditions, all those factors. And I think once in a while, you have to be a sprinter. You see an opportunity, you go after it, you get hostile, and you grab it. I think there are other times, I think in the bigger picture, I'd like to look at myself more as a marathon runner, business person, and thinking about the long game, and not always what I could make, but what I can build. I look at more of my relationship initially as what can I build with this person, not only what the money can I make and what value can I give.